Hey you guys, it's CIARA Part Truth and Love United. What is going on? So today we are going to be talking about self-sabotage. So we're gonna get to the intro, then we'll be back.
She knows exactly what she wants, and she knows exactly what she deserves, and it makes them boys nervous.
So before I get into it, first, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also make sure that you hit your notification bell so every time I post something, you'll see it, you'll know what's going on. If you're coming back, hey boo, what's good, what's popping? So like I said, today we're going to be talking about self-sabotage. Now, a lot of times, you know, the last couple weeks we've been talking about goals and having our hot girl summer and, you know, having the type of dude or situation that you want, like based on what the energy you put out to the world, like making sure you're doing your part to attract those things, all of that stuff. But there are times when we are messing ourselves up and we don't even realize it. Part of checking ourselves when it comes to self-sabotage, and if people don't know what self-sabotage is, basically that is, you know, throwing yourself off so you can't accomplish whatever goal it is that you think you're trying to accomplish, or whatever, you know, like, yeah, that's self-sabotage. I'll put the definition in here somewhere, but that's self-sabotage. So I actually got this idea from again, over the last couple weeks, what I've been talking about, and I'll put a card here talking about, like, for the videos, and I'll put it in the last couple videos in the description box so you can kind of know what I've been talking about. But I actually got this post from Nidra Twab. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, ma'am. I'm sorry, girl. She's a therapist. She's actually really pretty too, and she seems really smart. I follow her on Instagram. I just followed her. You should follow her too. I'll put her Instagram in the description box. But she talks about what self-sabotage looks like, and I thought this would be something really, really good for us to talk about. You know, if you realize that you do these things, the first step to getting over something or to stop doing something is to acknowledge it. And maybe you don't realize you're doing it. So these are just some of the things that she said can be seen as self-sabotage. So we're gonna go through this list, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about each one, and then boom, that's it. So I'm gonna read what she put under this post. So I'll put the post here, like the actual picture, and then what she said was, get out of your own way. Self-sabotaging happens when we create problems and drama that get in the way of our long-term goals. The number one reason we self-sabotage is fear. Fear and growth cannot coexist. You better say that, doctor, therapist. Yes, sis, that's what she said, and that is true. So number one is procrastination. So this is something that I have struggled with in the past that I am intentionally working on. Procrastination is when you put stuff off to the last minute, off to the last minute, off to the last minute. And a lot of times, though, don't get me wrong, there are some people who feel like they work really good under pressure. They work really good last minute, but it ain't that many of us. And most times what ends up happening is we end up throwing things together and kind of just hoping and praying over it, when realistically, had we paced ourselves, it would have been fine. Like, I've had to take this approach. I think I mentioned in another video, I'm in school now, so I have to make sure that I don't procrastinate when it comes to my homework. Like, I am always ahead of the curve. Matter of fact, when I finish recording, I'm gonna go do homework, and the homework that I'm doing is homework that's not due until next week. Like, I always try to stay ahead of the curve. So if you're someone that waits to the last minute, who puts everything and everybody else's stuff ahead of your stuff, cut that out, because that's one of those things that sabotage you from you getting to where you want to get to and you accomplishing your goal. So that's number one. Number two, getting close to a goal and quitting. So I feel like this is a read for myself. I am she is me, I am them. I just actually had this conversation with one of my friends, shout out to Miora, about how I have a really bad habit of, like, I will get to the very end of something and then not finish it. So completely transparent moment. Anybody, if you know me in real life, like, I went to hair school. I went to hair school, did all the hours, everything. Did not take my test. Don't ask me why, because I have a hard time completing things. Because this is my self-sabotaging nature. Because we'll get to why I think I self-sabotage at the end. But if you're one of those people who start something and don't finish it, you are sabotaging yourself. And I kind of feel like that's why I was led to start my YouTube channel, because there's no end date with YouTube. Like, it's just kind of one of those things that's just always going, well, as far as we know, just going to always be around. It just always is a thing, because yeah, I have a hard time completing things. But I think it does matter also why you start something. Like, this time around, like, I started hair school because I kind of was like, oh, I'm good at it, like I could do it, whatever. But the more I did it, I realized I really don't want to work in a shop. I really don't want, like, that's not really the life that I want to do. But I'm good at it. I can do whatever, but it's not really what I want to do with my life. But this time around, like, I'm in school and I'm doing something that I actually want to do, and it's something that I actually care about. So I think why you do something plays a huge part in the consistency that you put into it, and if you complete it or not. Like that, I'm sure that plays a huge part. So that's number 2. Number 3, number 3, being in relationships that are unhealthy. Now, a lot of times, of course, when we think relationships, we think husbands or wives or girlfriends and boyfriends. But unhealthy relationship could be your mama, your daddy, your friends, your co-workers, whatever it is. A lot of times, especially in relationships, but there are just certain relationships, societally speaking, that we're taught like should just be A1. You and your mama should be cool. You and your man, you would think, hopefully, would be cool. And if you don't have a man, like, sometimes there are people who will guilt you or make you feel away because you don't have those things. We have a bad habit, though, of putting ourselves in situations or staying in situations just because society tells us we have to. If your mama is jacked up, you don't have to have a relationship with her. Now, I'm not saying don't love her. I'm not saying don't respect her. I'm just saying that you do not have to constantly let that negativity or whatever that is into your life just because that's your mother and she created you. No. As humans, we have to take responsibility for our own actions. And if her actions have led you to be like, you know what, this ain't really the move. Because what happens is we spend so much energy into those putting energy into those situations that we don't focus on the things we're supposed to be focused on, and we don't deal with the things we're supposed to deal with, which in itself is self-sabotage, because then we have an excuse as to why we didn't hit our goal. Is because I was focused on that when realistically it wasn't even yours to deal with. Get your life. So that's number 3. Number 4, not keeping your word to yourself. So if you tell yourself you're going to accomplish A, B, and C by this date, why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you worthy of setting a goal for yourself and keeping it? And that's some of it could do, again, I think a lot of that has to do with how we look at ourselves, like our self-esteem. If the same energy you put into other people, you put into the world, you put into your job, you put into your kids, you put into your man, you put into, whatever. The energy you should be putting into your relationship with God, just saying. All of those things, you have to give yourself the same energy. If you promise yourself, especially if the promise is something based on something you're supposed to be doing. If you know you're supposed to be doing A, B, or C, why aren't you keeping your promise to yourself? Like, you owe yourself that much. You owe yourself that much respect. Like, come on. Like, so that's not something I really struggle with. The problem is I don't even make the promise because I know I'm probably going to give it up in the end, which is a whole nother self-sabotage, and then that's a self-read, but I'm just saying. So that was number 4. Number 5 is setting unrealistic goals. And honestly, I think not keeping your word to yourself and setting unrealistic goals can kind of go hand in hand. For example, like I said, I'm in school right now, and I started school years ago, but I really didn't do much. Like, I was bopping around because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So if I say, you know what, if I don't get my degree by next year, I'm done. That's unrealistic because I haven't set the foundation for that to be my reality. You have to make sure that the goals that you're setting for yourself line up with reality. If I say I want to lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks, that's unrealistic. And then when you don't hit that goal, you feel a way about yourself. No, set realistic expectations. And once you set realistic expectations, it should be easier for you to keep your promises that you make to yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say I feel like those go hand in hand. If you're not setting realistic expectations, why is that? Is it because you really don't even want to do what you're talking about? Is it because you don't have enough confidence to really do it? Like, why? Like, you got to get to the root of why you would even set yourself up for failure like that. So that's what number was that? Oh, please, my phone went crazy. That was number 5. So number 6 is not trying. How many of us have, maybe you set a realistic goal, but then you don't even try? I'm like that when it comes to my weight. There have been times where, I, at one point in my life, did want to lose weight. And it wasn't because It was vain. I ain't gonna even front. It was vain reasons. I wanted the booty to pop a little bit more. So I was like, yo, if the waist is a little smaller, the booty look like it's popping more. If we keeping it a buck, that's where I was at. But I was not willing to do the work that it took to do that. I was not trying. I was still drinking my Coca-Cola. I was still eating my Reese's Cups. Anybody who know me know Reese's Cups and Coca-Cola is my jam. I was not drinking water the way I should have been. I was eating all types of foolishness, wasn't eating no vegetables. Like, I just wasn't even putting forth the effort. Then I was getting frustrated with myself. But it's like, if I'm not even trying, then how do I expect to get the results that I want if I'm not even putting forth the effort, the basic stuff? Just even drinking water. I wasn't even drinking water the way I should have been. So if you're not even trying, how can you be mad at yourself if you're not even trying? And if you're not trying, then again, you have to go back to, why am I not trying? What is going on? Like, what is the root of why I'm not willing to put myself in the position that I want to be in? Why am I not willing to do that? So you got to think about it. Number 7, it says carrying a negative narrative or story about yourself and your abilities. We give ourselves so many excuses as to why we can't follow our dreams. We can't follow the expectations we put for ourselves or our aspirations. We give ourselves so many excuses as to why we can't do those things. And like the therapist said, I think a lot of it has to do with fear. Because fear, I think there's a such thing as like being afraid to succeed. I think there are so many people, because we're so used to seeing people who don't succeed, like, not celebrities, because I mean, celebrity is a different thing, but I'm talking about like in our day-to-day life, people moving around. We see so many people who aren't succeeding, that you're afraid to be the ones to succeed, because we don't know what that looks like tangibly in the day-to-day. We don't know what a successful whatever looks like. So you're afraid to be the first one, and I get it. A lot of times it's scary to be the first in your family to do whatever, but you got to realize, you being the first one, you pave the way for someone else, and you help them to see, like, yo, if cousin such and such or auntie such and such or grandma such and such could do this, so can I. So you have to get over your fear. You have to get past you and realize, like, our lives are not our own. And not to go on like a super crazy spiritual tangent, but our lives are not our own. Our lives were bought and paid for with Jesus' blood. So if that's what you believe, then you have to understand that everything that's inside of you, every gift that you've been given, is not for you, it's for his glory. And as you move throughout this world and you use the gifts that he's called you to use in the way that he's called you to use them, then there are going to be things that maybe you didn't even see yourself doing that you're going to end up doing. There are going to be doors that are going to end up opening to you that you didn't even realize were options for you. And you can't sabotage it just because it makes you uncomfortable, or you don't feel like you're ready, or whatever it is. This isn't about you. This is about you living the life God has called you to live, and him getting glory through your life. And this ain't a read, because I'm the same way. He has shown me some things that terrify me, if I'm being honest. But I understand that, again, my life is not my own. He bought and paid for me. So if that's the case, and if that's what I believe, then I have to trust that whatever gifts he's given me and with all these visions he's given me, that he's going to make them come to pass. And I'm not going to be harmed, and I shouldn't be fearful of those things. Like, if I want to grow and be the best woman of God that I know I can be, and he wants me to be, then that means I have to move in fearlessness. He didn't call me to be afraid. He didn't call me to shrink under pressure, or shrink under scrutiny, or shrink under the things that I don't understand. He didn't call me to do that. He built me strong. He built me resilient. He's planted the things inside of me that I need. And those things that aren't planted, he's put me in situations to gain the things that I need. And I have to trust that. You know what I'm saying? So self-sabotage, that's done today. And I encourage you to feel the same way. I encourage you to just make a list of and be real with yourself. What are some of the things you know you're supposed to be doing, but you aren't? What are some of the moves you know you're supposed to be making and you're not? What's some of the people you're supposed to let go and you haven't? Be real with yourself. And then figure out, why haven't you done those things? Put in the comments, what are some things that you do that are self-sabotaging? And what do you plan on doing to fix them? Because we not self-sabotaging no more. And we wait till next year. We're not waiting till next year. We're ending it today, right now. We're just going to Lord, I'm giving you these things because I know these things aren't of you, and I'm about to get on my business. I'm gonna be about my Father's business and do what I'm supposed to be doing. Period. Because we don't have time. It's too much stuff going on out here. Every other week is a shooting, people acting crazy. It's too much going on out here for us to act like we don't know what's going on. We got work to do. Roll up your sleeves, get over yourself, stop being fearful, and let's get to it. And I'm talking about me too. I ain't just talking about y'all. So hold me accountable as I'm holding y'all accountable. Let's get to it. So with that being said, I am very excited to tell you guys about someone who is actually living the purpose. Ooh, yes, lights, come on. I'm sorry it's getting dark. Y'all know I like the car videos now, and it's later in the day. But anyway, shout out to my sister Ashley. Ashley, I always say my sister, but like y'all know I am really blessed to just be around like a group of really, really dope women who love God and who just do what they're supposed to be doing, who are confident in their purpose and all that good stuff, and you know, all that stuff. So shout out to Ashley. Ashley has been working on the project, I think she said for 5 years. Go off. As a matter of fact, I'm going to insert the clip of the video she posted here, and then we'll come back.
This is Ashley Kennedy, just in case you're seeing this on another page that is not mine. And I just wanted to jump on live because I said that I would, so I want to honor my word and keep it. And I just want to share with you a little bit about something I'm so excited about, which is my book launch for my book, Transformed by Grace. Woo! I'm so excited. I have been working on this project for like 5 years, okay? So just want to encourage all those who are authors. It does take time. It does take time, but I'm so excited. The book launch is quickly approaching, so make sure you save the date for Friday, September 6th. It will be at 7 o'clock p.m. and it will not be an ordinary book launch. It's going to be amazing. Well, first of all, that following day on Saturday, September 7th, the day that it was complete, I will be celebrating my 35th birthday. So that's another part of the celebration with the book launch. So being able to turn 35 is such a blessing, and being able to share my book, my project with the world is another blessing. So I'm extremely excited for everything that is going to take place in that. So I hope that you are saving the date for that. And again, like I said, it will not be.
So yes, I am so excited. My big sister Ashley Kennedy actually wrote a book called Transformed by Grace, and I'm really excited about it because Ashley is one of those people who she just keeps it a buck, and I appreciate that. Like, those are the type of Christians I need in my life. The ones who'll give it to you straight, no chaser, who call me out when I need it, who tell me when I'm right, but still check me when those are the type of people I need, and she's one of those people, and I just love her. She wrote a book, like I said, called Transformed by Grace. The Transformed by Grace book launch party is going to be September 6th at 7 p.m. at what was formerly called The Manor. It's called something else now. I'll put in the description box, I'll put the link if you want to buy tickets to it. I'm going to be there. There are going to other people who are in the book that she interviewed for the book. We're all going to be there. We're going to just be talking about it and, you know, where we are, all these things. And I'm really, really, really excited because Ashley has been working on this for 5 years. 5 years, sis. Like, see what happens when you don't self-sabotage. Because listen, I would have gave up at probably year 2. So I am appreciative of having like those type of examples, because now, you know, Ashley did it. So if the Lord ever put that on my heart, I got somebody who I can look to who didn't give up and who didn't let self-sabotage jack her up and make her stop. So Ashley, I love you. You're gonna be my shout out for the week, girl. Hey girl, I'm really, really excited. Yes, like I said, Transformed by Grace book launch party. It is going to be September 6th. That is a Friday, 7 p.m. Formerly The Manor. I don't know what it's called now. I'll put the name of it if I can find it here. But it's formerly The Manor. The address and all of that good stuff will be in the description box. Also, if you want to buy tickets, that's also going to be in the description box. I'm really, really excited. I hope to see y'all there. I think that's all I got this week, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you got any questions, hit me up. The email, all that good stuff is in the description box. And like I said, let me know, do y'all self-sabotage? If you do, how we fixing it, boo? Because, you know, I'm solution oriented, so what we doing? And if you don't self-sabotage, what are some of the things that you do to make sure that you don't self-sabotage? If you got any questions, like I said, all the stuff is in the description box. And if you want to just know more about me or whatever, check out the website, truthandloveunited.com. And like I always say, as long as you're running your race at God's pace, not your pace, not your fearful pace, at God's pace, then you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Bye, y'all.
It's all in your mind, but take your time, hey, and make sure that your mind is right, yeah, yeah. You know that